Speaker.
Joanne Hayes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to stand and take a call on this bill to support the first reading of the Weathertight Homes Resolution Services Amendment Bill. And when I sit here in the House and I hear other members saying it was a disgrace for this government and the previous concerning the leaky homes, it's when people and when governments decide not to do anything about it, and we are a government that will do something, we're doing something about it, and that's the bottom and the only cash cry that we should be thinking about, is we're getting on with it and we are dealing to it. You know, it's putting the things right that counts. When I hear our member across talking about the Local Government and Environment Select Committee, this bill is coming back to, and I too am looking forward to it coming back, because a few years ago, actually back in the end of 1999, I was working in Auckland and I saw some of those homes being built. And so in 2013, when my husband and I decided, well, we actually didn't decide to build a home, we had to build a home because we didn't have a home. That was one of the things that went through my mind when we were designing the actual build itself. And I can tell you now, when it comes to physics, Mr. Speaker, I'm pretty poor at physics. I don't really know a lot about it. And my husband would try to explain to me what a parapet was and had to actually draw it on a piece of paper for me so I could see what we were looking at when we were looking at the common features of a leaky home. Even the roof-to-wall junctions, even though we're only a single-storey home, he drew what that meant on a two-storey home, and I thought, thank God we're building a one-storey home. Pergola fixings were pretty okay because we have a big, what is it? A deck around it. But yeah, so when he started explaining it to me and I started to get a bit of a feel about what the people, the owners of leaky homes were going through, especially what a flashing was around a window, then I started to understand the issues that they were facing. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill, it amends the 2006 Act, and in 2011 it amended it, and that's when we introduced the financial assistance package to help owners to repair their homes and to reduce legislation, because legislation was getting a little bit out of hand in costs. And we did that, and I will keep reminding the House about this whenever I get to speak in an opportunity. We decided and moved to work on this particular bill because, you know, it was a time when we had our global world recession was hitting the world and this country, when we were having the devastation of our earthquakes in Christchurch. You know, financial companies were going to the wall, and then later, of course, we had our terrible tragedy at Pike River Mine. You know, the coffers were bare when we came in, yet we were able to plan so we could address the leaky homes that this country was facing. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill, it has three main areas, of which my colleagues have been very articulate in being able to define what those three areas are. The legislative location of eligibility, and that looks at, Mr. Speaker, it's really about the financial assistance package, which moves criteria 1A and 1B and 1C into the Act, which is good, and it ensures validity cannot be questioned over previous decisions made based on these criteria. So that is very good for this bill. The other area that it covers is the definition of what is built, and yes, my colleagues have defined that and clarified that very well. You know, and just to round it up or to give an overview on it, it's you know, when a building is deemed to be built and not at the council inspection, and I'm pleased to say it's at code compliance certificate, and that's exactly what happened with ours. So, you know, at local government level, things are working well, and I'm very happy to say. And of course, the last area of this bill is the expiry of the financial assistance package, a package that I just want to just kind of flesh out a little bit more. It obviously expires on the 23rd of 2016, but the little kind of difference about that is that everybody who has a claim that gets it in on that day, it will continue on, and that is the key area that, or kind of I suppose, little change that we've put in here. So all of those people can claim right up to the 23rd of July 2016, and they will qualify for assistance until the issuing notice, until they receive an issuing notice to proceed. So with this financial assistance package, that included the extension of that of the criteria of the date to include everybody up to that date, added another 70 applications or applicants that could benefit from this bill. And I read just in a clipping out of stuff that the Minister Nick Smith said it was a sensible refinement for the Act, was that particular area for financial assistance package. By the end of January, Mr Speaker, there were, and that's January this year, there were 1,147 claims, and that represents 3,528 homes assessed and qualifying for government assistance, with, as you have heard before, a lot more to come. Also the future cost, we've heard that before, where government will put in 25% and so will local government, leaving the owner 50% to pay for repair costs, and that is a great step forward for those people who are affected by leaky homes. So essentially what we're expecting is to generate about $460 million in home repairs over that period, Mr Speaker. Really at the end of the day, Mr Speaker, the bill doesn't change anything about the financial assistance package, as I said, and it does remove doubt, but it removes doubt for certainty for the claimants, and essentially it is a good bill. It is a bill that I'm pleased that our members across the House are supporting, and that it's going to come to select committee so we can listen to the submissions from the applicants and or family members as they put their case towards us in those hearings. So I'm looking forward to that. In summing up, Mr Speaker, I just want to do a little bit of a background over the leaky homes issue, because I think it's really important, especially when somebody defines what a leaky home is, and it is where water seeps in and under the cladding system or through the roof or through the sides where it cannot drain, and whereby it kind of doesn't even dry out. It stays there for some time because it can't go anywhere else. And as we know, this leaky homes, it affects apartments, it affects townhouses, standalone homes in some areas, mainly built between 1992 and 2005. I think that the legislation that's coming through has really tightened up building and builders' their code of practice and code of compliance, which is really good. So we're eliminating the cowboys within the sector, and that is good for all those people who are wanting to build a new home, and I think that's it was very good for us anyway. I want to say that we're prepared as a government to stand by at this awful situation. We're prepared to stand by it. I opened by saying that in the first place, and we will see this right through to the end for those people, because at the end of the day it is those people that matter to us. They are the people of this country, and they support what we are doing. We're spreading this package out evenly as most as we can, and fairly, and we're centering, as I said before, government and local government are helping with the payments of 25%. Mr Speaker, there is so much more that I could say on this, but I won't. I will save it for our second and third readings, and Mr Speaker, I commend this bill to the House. Thank you.